and welcome back to our online bridging course. This time we will be dealing with exponential and logarithmic functions. So let's start with the definition of an exponential function. By the way, exponential and logarithmic functions are called transcendental functions. So they are different from what we have been discussing so far, which are algebraic functions. So let's start with exponential functions. Here is the definition of an exponential function. The exponential function f with base a is denoted by this. F of x is equal to a raised to x, where a is greater than 0 and a is not equal to 1. And x is any real number. So a should be greater than 0 and a should not be equal to 1. Okay, so what is the difference of this exponential function with algebraic functions? For the exponential function, the variable is the exponent. While in algebraic functions, the variable is the base. For example, x squared is an algebraic function, or f of x equal to x squared is an algebraic function. So this involves a polynomial. Meanwhile, f of x equal to 2 raised to x is not an algebraic function. This is now an exponential function. So if the function or the variable is the exponent, then it is an exponential function. Now, just to have a quick overview of how the graph of this function behaves, of course, let us just try to investigate. Tingnan natin ano ba yung behavior ng function na to. Siguro to make this more clear, let's just use the function f of x. Wait, that's too thick. Let's use f of x equal to yung 2 raised to x na lang. F of x, 2 raised to x. Okay, if you want to graph this function, ano yung mga consideration natin? So, from the previous lesson, we need to consider the intercept and the behavior of the general behavior of the curve. So, meron ba siyang mga asymptote to which it will approach those things. Okay, now, if you want to solve for the intercepts, okay, so let's start with the x-intercept. For the x-intercept, y, or the function of x, so let us describe this as y na lang, y should be 0, or the function of x should be 0. But if we have 2x raised to 0, we cannot have any number to be substituted to x that will result to 0. So therefore, no x-intercept. Ibig kong sabihin, kahit anong ilagay mong value sa x, you cannot find a number or a value that will result or that will make this expression 0. Okay? So meaning there is no x-intercept. So for the y-intercept, let me move this here. For the y-intercept, x is 0. So that would be y is equal to 2 raised to 0, which is equal to 1. So meaning, whatever is the value of the base, the intercept will always be 1. It will always cross 0, 1. Okay? Now, how would this graph behave for infinity, negative and positive infinity? If we substitute a large value of x, so if x approaches infinity, so we substitute this by large numbers of x, of course this whole quantity will become very large numbers, right? So that's 2 raised to 1, then increase natin 2 raised to 2, lalaki siya, 2 raised to 5, the value will increase, 2 raised to 1 million, the value will increase. So therefore, as x increases, this whole value will just increase. Parang ganun lang. Okay? But if we substitute this with numbers less than 0, meaning negative numbers, increasing siya, tapos negative, what will happen to the curve? Ako din yung sasagot. So, if we have 2 raised to, let's say, negative 1, if you recall the properties of exponent, pag negative yung exponent natin, naging reciprocal. So, naging 1/2 na siya. Diba? How about kung 2 raised to 3. That would become 1 over 2 thirds. So that's 1/8. Diba? So if you notice, while x is increasing, or no, x is decreasing, or approaching the negative infinity, paliit ng paliit yung value niya, or increasing negatively, pwede ganun, no? Yung value niya is approaches negative infinity, yung whole value niya, kasi reciprocal siya, is lumiliit. Mas nag-approach siya to 0. Diba? So, for example, 2 raised to 100, that would be 1 over 2 raised to, 2 raised to negative 100, that would be 1 over 2 raised to 100. So, that's 1 over a large value here. So, let's say, I don't know, a large value here. So, this will approach to 0. Okay? So, therefore, towards the negative side or the left side of the graph, our curve will approach 0. Okay? So therefore, kung ito-drawing natin siya, ganito yung graph niya. It will cross this intercept. Wait, let me use this one. It will cross this intercept. This is 0, 1. And dito natin ilagay. This is 0, 1. And increase lang siya doon as x increases. While dito sa baba, it will approach 0. Okay? So, ganun lang yung graph niya. Okay? So, may graphing utility naman tayo, but di gamitin? Anyway, if you notice, if we have this an exponential function, y is equal to 2 raised to x, ganyan yung function niya. So, halimbawa, increase lang natin yung base niya, let's say 5 raised to x. So, ayan, nag-shift lang siya konti. Mas naging steeper lang siya. So, halimbawa, lagyan natin yung exponent natin, gawin nating function, or gawin nating, maglagay tayo ng plus 2. So, yun, nag-shift lang siya. Umakyat lang siya ng konti. Halimbawa, yung exponent mismo. Yung exponent mismo yung lagyan natin ng minus 1. Sorry. X minus 1. Ganon. Or nag-iba lang yung curvature niya. Okay? The graph of exponential functions, ganon lang. Okay. So we have this. Natural base E. So we have E, or this is the Euler's constant. Euler's constant. So we have a natural base E. E is Euler's constant with this value, 2.7182818828 and so on. This is an irrational number, so you cannot express this into a ratio of two integers because it's irrational. So E is a natural base because this value often appears in nature, or these are naturally occurring values. Okay, so this number is called natural base. The function by f of x equal to exponential x. So, pwedeng gamitin natin e raised to x, pwedeng ganun, or medyo mas komportable ako sa exponential x. Ganun. Kasi may mga function sa calculator na this is written as exp, or if the exponent or ito dito is medyo longer yung pagkakasulat, so it is written as exponential x. Ganyan. So, it's called the natural exponential function. So, the graph of this function is also similar to this. Pero syempre, since iba yung base natin, natural number e, or natural base e yung base natin. So, iba yung curvature niya sa other exponential functions with integer bases or natural number bases. Okay. So, ganun lang. I'm just introducing that. Now, before we proceed with some problems to solve, let us first review the properties of exponents. So this time, yung base natin is constant. Let's say a. And yung exponent natin is a variable. Let's say, let's use u and v. So we have a raised to u and a raised to v. where, so we have these functions. So, i-define lang natin siya where u and v are functions. So, it could be functions variables. Okay, isulat natin. U and v are either function or variables. Okay? Now, if you recall the properties of exponent, if we have to multiply equations of the same base, pag parehong base nila, we need to add the exponents. So, you can recall that. So, how about if we divide two functions or exponential functions with the same base, we just subtract the exponents. So, we're familiar with that. And if we raise this to v, so that would be a raised to uv. If, what else? If a is raised to u over v, that would be v root of u, no, of a raised to u. Okay. Ganon. So, I think you can still recall that. Now, if a is raised to 1, of course, what will happen? That would be identity, a. If a is raised to 0, any number raised to 0 is 1. So, those are the properties of exponent that we already know. Now, let us try to solve some problems. So, this is lesson 11. Let's call our problem 11-1. So, let's try this one, one-to-one property. Let's call this problem 11-1. When you say one-to-one property, that is just comparing two functions of the same base or two terms with the same base. So, ganun lang yung approach niya. So, let's start with letter A. 9 is equal to 3x plus 1. So, yung gagawin natin dito is to solve for x. So, in this case, sa letter A, sobrang dali lang. Ang gawin natin, ipareho natin yung base. So, yung 9 could be written as 3 squared. 9 is 3 squared, right? So that's equal to 3 raised to x plus 1. So, if they have the same base, that means this is equal to this. Diba? That's common sense. A raised to x or a raised to u is equal to a raised to v. So, therefore, u is equal to v. Kasi pare din naman sila dito ng base. So, parang common sense lang. Algebra is just common sense. So, therefore, 2 is the same or equal to x plus 1. Hence, x is equal to, transpose this to the other side. So, that's 2 minus 1. X is equal to 1. Ayusin natin. So, x is equal to 1. That's the value of x. How about for letter B? We have this. 1 half raised to x equal to 8. Ano yung common base nila? 8 could be written as, sulat ko muna dito. I could write 8 as 2 raised to 3. Diba? 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. So, 2 raised to 3. But the base here is 1 half. Pero reciprocal siya. So, therefore, pwede natin i-flip siya into 2 raised to negative 1. That's 1 half, diba? Then raised to x. So, therefore, this is 2 raised to negative x equal to 2 raised to 3. Hence, negative x is equal to 3. Therefore, x is equal to negative 3. So, ganun lang siya kadali. So, this is a very easy problem. Okay? So, let's try another one. Okay. Let's try this problem. So, medyo drill to siya. Maraming ano. But I think you can try to solve the other problems din dito. But, sige. Kaya natin to. Problem 11-2. So, we have a set of 8. Ayan. How do we solve this? Medyo easy lang naman. For number 1, we solve it like this. Let me change the color of my pen. For number 1, we have 3 raised to x plus 1 equals 27. And 27 is 3 cubed, right? 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. 3 cubed. So, therefore, x plus 1 is equal to 3. Therefore, x is equal to 2. So, easy. How about number 2? That's 2 raised to x minus 3. That would be equal to 16. So, 2 raised to x minus 3 is equal to 16 is 4 times 4. And 4 is 2 squared. So, that would be 2 raised to 4. 2 raised to 4. So, 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. So therefore, x minus 3. So that's x minus 3 is equal to 4. So therefore, x is equal to 7, right? That's, if we transpose this, that would be 4 plus 3. Okay? So I think we could skip the other functions here kasi madali na naman. I think this is similar to what we have solved earlier, and also this. So reciprocal lang naman siya. So just flip that. So use negative exponent. How about, ganun pa rin naman, no? So let's try number 6 na lang, and the rest are just too easy. Let's try number 6. Number 7. Let's try number 7. Exponential x squared minus 3 is equal to exponential 2x. So same base naman, that means the exponents are the same. X squared minus 3 is equal to 2x. And if you observe, this is just a quadratic equation. X squared minus 2x minus 3 equal to 0. Then you proceed to factoring. So ano yung pwede natin factor sa kanya? X minus 3 and x plus 1, di ba? Because negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So, okay. Equal to 0. So, therefore, x is either 3 or negative 1. So, if x minus 3 is 0, that's x equal to 3. And if x plus 1 is 0, so x is equal to negative 1. Very easy. So, the other problems here, just solve by yourself kasi medyo easy lang naman. Okay, this time we'll proceed to logarithmic function. Ito. Logarithmic functions is defined as this. Diretso lang tayo sa definition. Huwag na natin basahin yung introduction. The definition of an logarithmic function with base a is this. Y is equal to the logarithm of x to the base a if and only if x is equal to a raised to y. So it is read as logarithm of base a, logarithm base a of x. So pwedeng ganun, logarithm base a of x, or medyo kompleto, I'm more comfortable with reading this as the logarithm of x to the base a. Pwedeng ganun. Pwede din logarithm base a of x. Okay, to explain this, ganito lang siya. Sa exponential function kasi, we have f of x equal to a raised to x, right? Or if f of x is y, so y is equal to a raised to x. So yung function natin is y, then the exponent is the variable. But what if yung exponent yung variable? Yung exponent ang function, and this is of the variable. So nagbaliktad sila. How do you express it as a function? So let me erase this. So how would you express x equal to a raised to y? Meaning, ito na yung naging exponent na yung function. Naging exponent yung function. So how would you express this as y is equal to function of x? So yun yung gagamitin yung logarithm. So therefore, we write y is equal to the logarithm of x to the base a. So ganun lang. Okay? Or logarithmic function with base a. Okay. Now, if we have x is equal to 10 raised to y, then therefore y is equal to the logarithm of x to the base 10. Or, for bases of 10, or for those logarithms with base 10, we just write logarithm of x. So, pag wala siyang naka-indicate na base, that is automatically base 10. So, we call this common logarithm. Now, meron din tayong, what if the base is the natural base, Euler's number, e? So, we have x is equal to exponential y. So, the base is the natural base e. So, we write that as y is equal to the logarithm of x to the base e. And x to the base e could be rewritten as, yung logarithm to the base e, you could write that as natural logarithm, ln. So, I'm more comfortable reading that as ln. Yung iba, ln, yung iba, natural logarithm, but that's a mouthful. So, I'm more comfortable with using ln. So we will rewrite this as y equal to ln x. So pag sinabing ln dito, that it is that automatically means that the logarithm has a base of natural base or base e. Okay? So ang tawag dito is the natural logarithm. Okay, that's it. So na-cover natin yung logarithm of base a or any base. Then we have common logarithms in which the base is 10, and we have natural logarithms in which the base is the natural base e. Okay, next, let us now discuss the properties of logarithm. Again, the properties of logarithm is just based on the properties of exponents, because since exponential functions and logarithmic functions are just inverses of each other, so related din sila. Okay? So for these properties, let me introduce two functions or variables. Let u and v be functions or variables. Okay? U and v are functions or variables. Now let us define some functions. For example, we have m na lang. M, or the function of u, the function of this variable, let's describe that to m. Okay? And the function of this variable, v, let's call that capital letter N na lang. Okay? So I could rewrite this as, or using exponential functions, let's say m is equal to a, ang base natin na gamitin muna a raised to u. And how about n equal to a raised to v. So ito yung mga functions natin. Remember, u and v are variables and m and n are functions. So m is the function of u and n is the function of v. Now, in logarithmic form, we can rewrite this as, for this particular exponential function, let's write that in logarithmic form. So that means u is equal to the logarithm of m to the base a. Same as for this, we could rewrite, or we could write the logarithmic form, ayusin natin yung v. That would be v is equal to the logarithm of n to the base a. Para naman silang base. Okay? Then if you recall the properties of exponents, if we multiply m times n, that means we are multiplying a raised to u, because m is a raised to u, by a raised to v, since n is a raised to v. So, if pareho yung base, anong gagawin natin? If they have the same base, we add the exponent. So, that means a is raised to u plus v. So, isulat ko na lang ulit dito, mn is equal to a raised to u plus v. Now, if you write this in logarithmic form, that means u plus v, yung exponent, is equal to the logarithm of mn to the base a. Okay? Now, so we could write this as logarithm of mn to the base a equal to u plus v. So, ano yung u? Ito siya. U is the logarithm of m to the base a plus v, which is this, the logarithm of n to the base a. So this is what the first property you need to learn. So that means the logarithm of the product is just the sum of the individual logarithm. Or logarithm of mn to the base a is equal to the logarithm of m to the base a times plus the logarithm of n to the base a. So ganun siya. Okay? Now, how about if, dito ko lagay, no? Para isa lang na sheet. How about if we have m over n? So, if m over n, that means a raised to u over a raised to v. So, if the exponents, if we have two exponential functions na dinivide, we need to subtract the exponents. So, a raised to u minus v. Hence, in logarithmic form, u minus v is equal to the logarithm of m over n to the base a. Okay? The logarithm of m over n to the base a is equal to u. Again, what is u? Balik na naman tayo dito. U is logarithm of m to the base a. That's logarithm of m to the base a minus v, which is the logarithm of n to the base a. To summarize this again, that means that the logarithm of a quotient is just equal to the difference of the logarithms. So, the logarithm of m over n to the base a is just equal to the logarithm of m to the base a minus the logarithm of n to the base a. Okay? Okay, that's it. Now, suppose we have m, diba? If we have m equal to a raised to u, then we raise m to small letter n. So that means we need to raise this to small letter n. So therefore, m raised to n is equal to a raised to n times u, or u times n, pareho din naman. Okay? So in logarithmic form, that would be the that would be equal to this, which is u, nu is equal to the logarithm of m raised to n to the base a. We have the logarithm of m raised to n to the base a is equal to n times u. Again, u is ln, u is logarithm of m to the base a. So this is another property that you need to be familiar with. Okay? So if you observe the logarithm of a function raised to a number is just equal to as if eto siya mo balhin lang dire or transfer lang. So yung m dito, yung n dito, yan, transfer lang siya dyan. So that's another property. Okay, another one. How about if we have a raised to 0? Oh no, a raised to 1 lang muna tayo. A raised to 1 is equal to a. So therefore, the logarithm or 1 is equal to the logarithm of a to the base a. Or, pwede natin baliktarin na lang, logarithm of a to the base a is equal to 1. Meaning, kung mag-logarithm tayo ng pareho ito at saka yung base, that is just equal to 1. Okay? How about if a raised to 0? That is equal to 1. So therefore, the logarithm of 1 to any base a is equal to 0. So the logarithm of 1 is always 0. Okay? Ganun din if we have exponential 1 or e, natural base e raised to 1. That would be the natural base e or exponential ulit. So therefore, ln e is equal to 1, right? Remember that ln is logarithm to the base e. Ln e. So, eto siya is still 1. So, this is equal to 1. Okay? Then, if we have exponential 0, the result is 1. So, meaning ln 1 is 0. Okay? So, that's another property. So, let's highlight that. Ito. How about kung common na base? Pareho din. So, if we have 10 raised to 1, that's just equal to 10. So, therefore, the logarithm of 10 na hindi naka-indicate yung base, meaning ang base natin dito is 10, is just 1. Same as the common logarithm of 1 is 0. Ganon siya. Ganon kadali. So, you need, again, to be familiar with these properties. Okay, let's take a look at this again. Diba meron tayong m is equal to a raised to u? We established that kanina. Okay? And we also established that u is equal to the logarithm of m to the base a. So, therefore, eto pala is equal to this. So, pwedeng isulatin natin dito. Unahin natin to ha. A raised to u equal to m. So, we have a raised to u, which is logarithm of m to the base a, that is equal to m. So this is another property that you need to be familiar. Okay? Okay? If meron ka tayong base dito, katulad ng base dito, yung in-applyan mo ng logarithm is yun na yung answer. M. So that means if we have if we have exponential ln m, that is equal to m. Diba? Kasi remember, ln is logarithm to the base e. So pareho tayo ng base dito. And if we have 10 raised to log na walang nakalagay na base, log m, the result is also m. Ayan. So, ganun siya kadali. Okay? Then, what else? How about if we have change of base. We also have change of base. Change of base. I think I have a definition here. So, for the change of base definition, let me retrieve that to you. You have a change of base formula, then I will try to give you the derivation for this. Okay. So we have the change of base formula. Let a, b, and x be positive real numbers such that a is not equal to 1 and b is not equal to 1. Then logarithm of x to the base a can be converted to a different base as follows. So if we change the base a to base b, so ito yung nangyayari dito. The formula is just this. The logarithm of x to the base a is just equal to the logarithm of x to the new base, ayan o, x to the new base, over the logarithm of the old base to the new base. Okay, ulitin ko ha. The logarithm of x to the base a is equal to the logarithm of x to the new base over the logarithm of a of the old base to the new base. Okay, pareho din siya dito. Tingnan nyo. Pag base yung 10 we change this to base 10, the logarithm of x to the base a is just equal to the logarithm of x to the new base, which is 10, over the logarithm of the old base a to the new base, which is 10. And likewise, para din siya dito. Okay? So, paano natin siya madiderive? Okay. Suppose we have m equal to a raised to u again. Ayan. Ito na lang. So, we know that u is equal to the logarithm of m to the base a. Now, this same value m is expressed in a different base. So, let's say base b. So, sa base b natin, let's say the b is raised to another number, of course. Let's say w na lang. Ayan, w. So, therefore, we say that w is equal to the logarithm of m to the base b. Wait ha. To avoid confusion, ganito. Parang ganito ba? The number 16. Okay. The number 16 could be written as 4 squared. The base is 4. It could also be written as 2 raised to 4. So, the base is 2. So, magkaiba na sila ng base. So, ganun din yung itong illustration dito. Okay? So, the same value, magkaiba ng base. Of course, magkaiba din yung exponent niya. Pero pareho silang m. So, ganun din yung gusto kong i-illustrate dito. Now, so if you observe, let us take a look at this. Okay? Wait. So, w, let's use this. W is equal to the logarithm of m. So, ano yung m? Tingnan natin. Ito yung m. Of m, that's a raised to u to the base b. So, silbi, ito siya. Kinopya ko lang dito, pero pinalitan ko ng yung m with this. Kasi m din naman yan. Okay? Then, sa previous property na we described, di ba, pag exponent, pwedeng ilipat doon as coefficient. So, we have w is equal to u times the logarithm of a to the base b. Now, solving for u would be equal to w over the logarithm of a to the base b. Now, What is u again? Ayan, ito. U is the logarithm of m to the base a. That's equal to w, which is ito. The logarithm of m to the base b over ito, logarithm, this one, logarithm of a to the base b. So, ganun pa rin yung nangyari. The logarithm of m to the base a is equal to the logarithm of m to the new base over the logarithm of the old base to the new base b. So, that's the derivation. So, you need to be familiar with this property. Okay? So next, we will be solving some problems involving the properties of logarithmic functions. Okay, let's solve some problem. Wait, lagyan mo natin divider para makatipid tayo sa space. So let's try this one, evaluating logarithms. So parang madali lang, no? So let's just use the property of logarithm that we learned. So let's call this problem, ilang problem na ba tayo? Problem 11-3. So use the definition of logarithmic function to evaluate each logarithm as at the indicated value of x. So medyo madali lang, no? Letter A, f of x is equal to the logarithm of x to the base 2. Then x is 32. So let's change this to 32. So, how about kung instead of definition yung gamitin natin, para mas madali, yung properties na lang, no? Huwag tayo mag-definition. So, let me erase this. I don't want to use the definition. Yan na lang. Evaluate na lang tayo diretso. Kasi ganoon din naman. Mas madali pa. Ayan. Okay. So, let's evaluate this. For letter A, that is simply f of x is equal to logarithm. Ano ba yung 32? Yung 32 is 16 times 2. And 16 is 2 raised to 4. Right? So, that would be 4 squared is, no. 4 squared is 16 and 4 squared times 2 is 32. So that's 2 raised to 4 times 2. So 2 raised to 5. So 32 is 2 raised to 5 to the base 2. So by properties of logarithm, yung exponent maging coefficient. So 5, the logarithm of 2 to the base 2 and 2 to the base 2 is just 1. So f of x is just equal to 5. So let us continue letter B. For letter B, we have f of x equals logarithm of x to the base 3 when x is equal to 1. So that would be logarithm of 1 to the base 3, and we know that the logarithm of 1 to any base is just 0. Ganun lang kadali. How about letter C? We have f of x equal to the logarithm of x to the base 4. Okay. So that would be x daw is equal to 2. So that would be logarithm of 2 to the base 4. Now, pwede tayo mag-change of base pero that's too complicated na if we do change of base. Pero pwede din tayo gawin natin tong 4 para meron tayong ma-cancel out. So that would be logarithm. So what would be the equivalent exponential form of 2? So 2 is actually the square root of 4, right? Okay, taking the positive value, that's the square root of 4, or 2 is actually 4 raised to 1 half. So we could do that. So para maging 4 din yung base niya dyan, yung base niya dito, that would be 4 raised to 1 half, or square root of 4. Okay? Okay? Then by properties of logarithm, ilipat natin dito yung 1 half, that would be logarithm of 4 to the base 4, and this is equal to 1. So the answer is just 1 half. Ganun lang kadali. So let's try letter D, which is f of x is equal to the logarithm of x to the base 10. So base 10 siya, pwedeng di na natin isulat yung 10 dito. Kahit wala na to. So it's understood na base 10. So logarithm of x na lang tayo. So it's logarithm of x. So x is equal to 1 over 100. 1 over 100. So that would be f of x is equal to the logarithm of 1 over 100. So how do we solve this? First, let me rewrite this to logarithm of 100 raised to negative 1. So if we transfer the exponent negative 1 and make it as a coefficient, so this will become negative, equal to negative logarithm of 100. And 100 is 10 squared, right? 100 is 10 squared. So magiging f of x is equal to negative 2 logarithm of 10. And logarithm of 10 is equal to 1 kasi yung base niya dito is 10. Okay? So the answer is just negative 2. Ganun na siya kadali. Okay? Anyway, eto siya, pwede lang to siya ma-inspection. Pero just to use the properties we have discussed previously, mas okay na nilagyan natin ng konting detail. Okay? Now, let's proceed to another. So this is problem 11-4. Using properties of logarithm, again, we need to simplify these logarithms. So, since familiar tayo sa mga properties, wala nang problema. For letter A, logarithm of 1 to the base 4. So, any logarithm or the logarithm of 1 to the base to any base is just equal to 0, di ba? So, for letter A, that is simply 0. So, isulat mo na lang, logarithm of 1 to any base, in this case, base 4, that's just 0. Letter B, how do we simplify the logarithm of square root of 7 over, so, napakadali. Pareho siya ng base or yung base niya dito is the same sa in-apply ng logarithm. So, this is just 1. And how about letter C? So, mga madali lang pala to. 6 logarithm of 20 to the base 6, that is 20. If you recall, a raised to logarithm of m to the base a is equal to m. So, therefore, this is the value. This is m. Ganun lang siya kadali. So, napaka-easy naman pala nito. For problem 11-5, using properties of natural logarithm this time. Simplify each expression. For letter A, we have ln 1 over e. I could rewrite this to ln exponential negative 1. And that would be negative ln e. Diba? Kasi ito, again, basta properties sa logarithm, pag exponent, pwedeng pwedeng gawing coefficient. So, ito siya, this is just 1. So, the answer is just negative 1. Diba? ln e is 1. We discussed that previously. Right here. Right there. ln e is equal to 1. Okay? So, that's too easy. How about letter B? Exponential ln 5. Of course, the answer is 5. Why? Because this is exponential logarithm of 5 to the base e. Diba? Kasi ito yung ln. This is just ln. So, the answer is just 5. And, again, using a property. And letter D, parang given na. Oh no, let's answer letter C. That's ln 1 over 3, or that's 1/3 ln 1. And ln 1 is 0. So, the answer is 0. This is 0. So, 1/3 times 0 is just 0. Napakadali. Or ito pa lang, ln 1 is 0. 0 over 3 is 0. And this, of course, ayan, given, parang klaro naman. ln is 1, so therefore the answer for D is just 2. So, the answer is just 2. Napakadali ng logarithm. Sige lang, we are just warming up. So, let's look for some other problems. Sana may mga challenge na. Changing bases. Ayan, change of base. I hope you can still recall anong mnemonics for change of base. So, that's problem 11-6. Is it 6? Okay. Logarithm of 25 to the base 4. So, we need to change a base to common logarithm. So, meaning our new base is 10. Okay? Our new base is 10. So, if you recall, paano yun? The logarithm of 25 to the base 4 is just equal to the logarithm, or applying the change of base formula, That's the logarithm of 25 to the new base 10. So, may imaginary 10 tayo dito. Ayan. May 10 over the Ayusin natin. The logarithm of the old base, that's 4, to the new base 10. So, that's the answer. Okay? Pwede nyo yung calculate after that, pero that's it. Same as here. So, that would be logarithm of 12 to the base 10 over logarithm of 2 to the base 10. Napakadali. Then, calculator. How about here? Changing bases using natural logarithm. So, therefore, our new base here is the natural base, E. So, this is problem 11-7. Okay. So, ang ln ang gagamitin natin, or logarithm to the base E, that is just ln. So, magiging ln 25, new base natin is E, over ln 4. Ganun lang. Then, dito naman, ln 12 over ln 2. Ganun lang. And, if you check your calculator, this value is the same as this value. Ganyan. You may check sa calculator. So, that's it. So, puro lang warm up yung problem. That's too very easy. So, let's try another one. How about if we try to solve this one? Using properties of logarithm. By the way, this is problem 11-8. Using properties of logarithm, find the exact value of each expression without using a calculator. And bawal mag-calculate. Okay, for letter A, we have, let me copy this first. Logarithm of, eto siya, I could write this as, yung cube root of 5, I could write that to 5 raised to 1/3. Diba? So that's 5 raised to 1/3 to the base 5. So therefore, this is equal to 1/3 logarithm of 5 to the base 5. So the answer is just 1/3 because this is equal to 1. Napakadali. No calculator needed. For letter B, we have ln exponential 6 minus ln exponential 2, or ln e squared. So again, itong exponent, maging coefficient, so we'll have 6 ln e minus 2 ln e. And we know that ln e is equal to 1. So this would be equal to 6 minus 2. The answer is 4. Napakadali. Expanding logarithmic expression. So just applying the properties of logarithm that we've discussed in the previous pages. Let's just expand these logarithms. So this is problem 11-9. Medyo mabilis yung mga solution natin, no? Okay. For 11-9, for letter A, how do we expand this? Okay. Notice that 5x cubed and y are all multiplied to each other. So therefore, kung multiplication, yung property natin, if we multiply two functions, you just add the logarithm of the two functions. Or the logarithm of the product of two functions is equal to the sum of the logarithm of each function. Okay? So we do that here. So that would become logarithm of 5 to the base 4 times the logarithm, it's plus the logarithm of x cubed to the base 4 plus the logarithm of y to the base 4, because all are multiplied. Okay, then that would be equal to the logarithm of 5 to the base 4. Then this, pwede nating ilipat dyan, plus 3 logarithm of x to the base 4 plus the logarithm of y to the base 4. Then that's our answer. Ganun siya kadali. Very easy. So that is the expanded form. How about for letter B? For letter B, we have ln. Now this time, it's quotient. So pag quotient, we need to subtract, diba, the two functions, or the logarithm of the two functions. So we have ln. We'll start with the numerator. We have ln 3x minus 5 minus ln 7. Okay? Then expand this further. I could rewrite square root as raised to 1/2. So that would be ln 3x minus 5 raised to 1/2 minus ln 7. Or this would be 1/2 ln 3x minus 5 minus ln 7. So that's our final answer. Ganun lang siya kadali. Too easy. Okay, now this time we have this. This is problem 10. 11-10 I mean. Problem 11-10. Condensing logarithmic expression. So letter A. For letter A, look at this. 1/2 logarithm of x plus 3 logarithm of x plus 1. So this coefficient we could transfer it as the exponent of the value or the variable wherein the logarithm is applied. So therefore, we have logarithm of x raised to 1/2 plus logarithm of x plus 1 raised to 3. Okay? Since eto siya, so wala na siyang coefficient, pwede na tayong mag-add kasi they have the same base. The base here is 10, the base here is 10 also. So, kung addition siya, meaning we multiply the factors. So, therefore, this becomes logarithm of x raised to 1/2 times the logarithm of x plus 1 cube. So, that's the condensed form. That's the answer. Or if you prefer to write it this way, logarithm of square root of x times x plus 1 cube, that's perfectly fine. Okay? That's it. Too easy. So let's try letter B. For letter B, we have 2 ln x plus 2 minus ln x. So unahin natin yung mga coefficient. So this would become 2, ln x plus 2 squared minus ln x. Okay, wala na coefficient. The operation here is minus. So if minus, that means dinivide yung factors or yung functions. So this is now equal to ln x plus 2 squared over x. So that's a condensed form. Napakadali. And finally, letter C. Yan. Ito na lang. For letter C, we have this. Okay. This time, remember, yung 1/3 is nasa labas ng bracket. Meaning, yung in-applyan mo ng 1/3 or yung minultiply mo ng 1/3 is this whole expression. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung unahin natin. I-combine muna natin to before going out sa grouping symbol na bracket. Okay? So, I'll just write 1/3 here. Then, I'll condense the this inside the bracket. So, the operation is addition. So, therefore, we multiply the factors or the functions. So, we have logarithm of x times x plus 1 to the base 2. Okay? And actually, pwede na. Pwede natin isulat ulit siya as 1/3 logarithm of x times x plus 1 to the base, where am I? Okay, to the base 2. Okay? Then, ito, exponent siya nito. So, that would be logarithm to the base 2 of, remember na isa siyang group. So, i-group natin muna siya, x times x plus 1. Then, doon na natin erase by 1/3. Okay? So, this could be an acceptable answer. Okay na yan. Or if you want to distribute 1/3, that would be logarithm to the base 2 of x raised to 1/3 times x plus 1 raised to 1/3. So, that's still okay. Ay, napakadali. So, let's look for another problem. Ay, madali pa rin. Problem 11-11. We need to simplify this. Ganun pa rin, expansion and pag-condense. So, problem 11-11. We need to simplify these. For letter A, look, added, then subtracted. Okay? So, therefore, I just need to multiply this, then divide it by this. Remember na pare-pareho naman yung base niya. Okay? So, this will become the logarithm of 10 times 12 over, over 15 to the base 2. Ganon. Okay? Then, that will be logarithm of, so, what is the value of this? Wait, what is the value of this? Pwede natin factoring, no? This is 3, This is 5 times 2 times 4 times 3. And this is 5 times 3. So 2 times 4, 8 na lang. So logarithm of 8 to the base 2. And 8 is 2 cubed to the base 2. So that would be 3 logarithm of 2 to the base 2, which is equal to 1. The answer is 3. Or you can also solve it like this. Okay, you can solve it like this. Logarithm of, medyo mahaba-habang solution. Logarithm of 10, yung 10 pwede natin gawing 2 times 5. Logarithm of 2 times 5 to the base 2. Plus yung 12 naman, that's 4 times 3 times 3 to the base 2. And yung 15 naman is 3 times 5 to the base 2. Mahabang solution siya, pero this is just to show na we can use any property of logarithm as long as wala tayong violate na rule. So eto, we could expand this further. That would be logarithm of 2 to the base 2 plus, kasi multiplication siya, so we add logarithm of 5 to the base 2. Then plus, eto, multiplication pa rin, so we add, pwede nating expand ulit. So logarithm of 4 to the base 2 plus logarithm of 3 to the base 2. Okay? Wait. Minus. So, ilagay natin sa grouping symbol kasi i-expand natin siya. Tapos nasa labas yung negative para di tayo ma-confuse mamaya. Diba? So, eto na yung expansion, yung nasa labas ng bracket. Nasa loob ng bracket, yun yung expansion nito. Okay? So, that would be logarithm of 3 to the base 2 plus logarithm of 5 to the base 2. Okay? So, this would become logarithm of 2 to the base 2, that's 1, plus logarithm of 5 to the base 2, plus, this is actually 2 squared, right? 4 is 2 squared, so, magiging 2 logarithm of 2 to the base 2. So, the answer here is just 2, plus logarithm of 3 to the base 2 minus logarithm of 3 to the base 2 minus logarithm of 5 to the base 2. So, we cancel this out. Ito ma-cancel din. So, the answer would be 1 plus 2, 3. Ayan. 1. Ito. The answer is just 1. Ito yung 1. This is 1. Plus, yung nag-iwan na 2. So, the answer is just 3. Okay? So, mahaba ba yung solution? Pero, using the same properties without violating any properties, then we still arrive at the same answer. Okay? How about letter B? For letter B, we have logarithm of a cubed to the base a squared. So, that's a bit tricky. Okay? So, ganun pa rin. Yung technique na ginagawa natin dito is dapat magkapareho tong base tsaka ito para ma-cancel out natin or ma-change natin into 1. Diba? Yun yung target natin. Logarithm of a to the base a, which is equal to 1. So, if the base is a squared, let's manipulate this that the base here will be a squared then. So, medyo madali lang. We could rewrite this as kung a squared dito, dapat a squared din dito. So, what would we raise this to na ang result niya is a cube. So, ako din sasagot, I would raise this to to 3 over 2. Okay? Because if you multiply this 2, ma-cancel out, so a cube nang maiiwan. Okay? So, that would become 3 halves logarithm of a squared to the base a squared. So, this is 1 kasi pareho na siya sa base. So, this is simply 1. The answer is just 3 halves. Ayusin natin kasi parang the answer is just 3 halves. Okay? Very easy. And letter C, we have 3 raised to the logarithm of 4 to the base 9. Okay. Ito, medyo tricky. Remember na ito yung property natin. A raised to logarithm of m to the base a is m. Okay? So, dapat magkapareho to. In this case, di sila magkapareho. This is 3 and this is 9. So, dapat yung base natin is either 3 or 9. You just pick between the two. So, ang gagawin ko, kasi it's very hard to change the base here. Pwede din, gagamit tayo ng change of base. So, let's make that as our alternative solution. Pero, how about if I change this first? Yung, yung 3 dito, gagawin kong base 9. And we know that 3 is actually the square root of 9, di ba? The square root of 9. So, gagawin ko sa 3, yung 3 gagawin kong 9 raised to 1 half. That is equal to 3. Then, raised to logarithm of 4 to the base 9. Di ba? So, eto, 9 na yung ano natin. 9 na yung base natin. Tapos, eto, this is equivalent to this, 3. Okay? So, I'll rewrite that. That's 9 raised to 1 half logarithm of 4 to the base 9. Okay? So, 9 raised to logarithm of 4 raised to 1 half to the base 9. That would be 4 raised to 1 half or equal to 2. So, the answer is 2. Okay, let's change this or let's do an alternate solution for this. How about if ang exponent ang i-change yung base ko? I'll change the base here. Instead of 9, I'll change the base to 3. So using the change of base formula, we'll have this. This is the alternate solution. I'll change the color of the ink. So I'll change this to 3 raised to, change the base. Di ba pag change of base quotient form yun? So the logarithm of 4 to the new base over the logarithm of the old base to the new base. Ayan. Okay? Ganon. So that would be 3. Then, logarithm of 4 to the base 3 over, wait ha, paliitin natin ng konti. Let's resize this. Ayan. Over, ito, what will happen here? 9 is actually 3 raised to 1 half. 3 squared. Diba? Lagyan natin yung solution dito. Logarithm of 9 to the base 3 is the same as logarithm of 3 squared to the base 3. So, transfer the exponent to, 2. Logarithm of 3 to the base 3. So, this is just 2. This is just 2. So, that would be 2. Yan, 2. Or, this is 3. That would be 1 half logarithm of 4 to the base 3. Diba? Ganun din naman. If you multiply 1 half to this, that would be this. Then, itong 1 half, we could transfer that as exponent. So, that would be 3 logarithm of 4 raised to 1 half to the base 3. Ayan. So, na-change yung base. Pareho na sila. Ito na yung answer. So, this is equal to 4 raised to 1 half or simply 2. Napakadali. Dalawa yung nakopya ko. So, eto mamaya na to. Okay, eto lang muna. Problem. Ba't prol? 11-12. Solve the equation. Ay, bumalik tayo sa exponential. Madali lang, di ba? Ay, hindi. You cannot do 1-to-1 dito or sa exponential na pag-solve because the base are not the same. The base here is 3, the base here is 2. So, ang gagawin natin, we'll use logarithm. So, solving for the exact value of x using logarithm. So, it's either you use any logarithm of any base. So, the more convenient way of solving this is either you use common logarithm or yung base 10 or yung natural logarithm or base e. So, ang gagawin ko, I'll answer this using natural logarithm. Actually, in our sa mga susunod na mga subjects, you will notice that most of the time, we will be using ln. So, introduce ko na lang na I'll just use ln here. Although, you can use common logarithm or any other basis. So, if I use ln, ang gagawin ko, I'll apply ln both sides. So, take note, the word I used is apply, not multiply. Because we are not multiplying ln with this. We are applying ln. Okay? We are applying ln. ln, we apply that to 3 raised to x minus 1 minus, we also apply ln to the other side para balance 2 raised to x. By the way, By the way, um, these are not factors. You are not multiplying ln to this or ln to this. The operation here is not multiplication. Because if tanggalin mo to, ln of what? Ln of what? It doesn't make sense, di ba? It's like incomplete, di ba? So ln, you apply it to something instead of multiply it to something. Okay? The operation here is not multiplication. Okay, so what will happen here? Kanisian exponent or itong exponent magiging coefficient. So this will become x minus 1 ln 3. So same with this, x ln 2. Okay? So i-distribute natin yung ln para, the objective here is to isolate x. So i-distribute ko muna to. This will become x ln 3 minus ln 3. That's equal to x ln 2. Then, i-collect natin lahat ng may x. That will be x ln 3 minus x ln 2 equal to, eto siya, ilipat natin dito. That would be ln 3. So, what I did, I simply eto, nilipat ko dito, then eto, nilipat ko doon. So, factor out x, that would be ln 3 minus ln 2 equal to ln 3. So, solving for x, that would be ln 3 over ln 3 minus ln 2. So, that is now the answer. Ito, pwede nyo makalculator. Okay? So, ganun lang siya kasimple, using logarithm. Or you can also use common logarithm. Pwedeng log to dash dito. That's okay. If you check sa calculator, you'll have the same answer. And pwede rin, instead of this transferring here, pwede din, ito yung i-transfer natin dito. So, yung answer natin dito will be negative ln 3 over, mauuna yung ln 2 minus ln 3. So, pwede din yun. Okay? So, that's it. Now, let's proceed to problem 11-13. Problem 11-13. So, for this problem, set na siya, no? Pang ano na to? Pang exercises na to. So, asan yung pwedeng solve natin? So, parang madali lang naman lahat. So, how about I'll skip this? Parang madali lang to, di ba? You just solve this in your own. You just combine this, so add the exponents, then gano'n na. So, ano ba pwedeng gawin natin dito? Okay, I'll answer number 3, number 1, that's too easy. Kayo na bahala dyan. Ito, I think that's too easy pa rin, so let's answer pa rin. For number 3, that's exponential 5 ln x. So, that would be equal to exponential ln x raised to 5. So, the answer is just x raised to 5. Napakadali. Diba? Remember that ln is logarithm to the base e. Okay? And logarithm to the base e. So, pareho tong base. Okay? That's answer number 4. For number 4, we have exponential. Eto siya. Yung dinivide natin by 2 is this whole term. Diba? Kasi naka-parenthesis siya, this whole term is divided by 2. So, this is the same as 1/2 3 ln 9 or 3 halves ln 9. So, yun yung gagawin ko dito. Exponential 3 halves ln 9. That's the same. Okay? And ln 9, that would be pwedeng ln 3 squared. Pwedeng ganun. Or, eto na lang, exponential ln 9 raised to 3 halves. So, the answer is just 9 raised to 3 halves. And 9 raised to 3 halves would be square root of 9 raised to 3, right? That's square root of 9 raised to 3. And the square root of 9 is 3 raised to 3, that's 27. So, the answer is 27. Napakadali. Okay? How about, I think this is too easy. Kunin mo yung reciprocal nito. So, you'll have ln exponential negative 3x. Then, proceed. This is also very easy. Kayo na lang bahala nito. How about this? Number 6. Pero, sayang lang kasi di pa tayo nag-discuss ng trigonometry sa bridging. But, let's still answer this. as advanced na lang sa trigonometry by next week. So we have exponential 2 ln cosine x plus the quantity ln exponential sine x squared. So anong mangyayari dito? I could rewrite this to exponential ln cosine squared x. Okay? Or sige, i-detail natin considering that beginner pa tayo. So that would be cosine x, then ilipat natin yung exponent dyan, squared. Plus, eto naman, exponent siya dito, so pwede natin ilipat as coefficient. So that would be sine x, ayusin natin. We'll use bracket first. That would be sine x, lagyan natin sa parenthesis para di tayo ma-confuse. ln e squared. Okay. Remember that ln e is 1, so ma-eliminate na to. And dito naman, exponential ln m is just equal to m. So, eto na lang ang answer natin. So, we'll write cosine squared x. By the way, you write cosine x squared as cosine squared x. That is the same. Okay? And mas preferred natin to. Okay? So, dito naman, since this will become 1, this is sine squared x plus sine squared x. And sa proper identities of trigonometry, which we will be discussing in our next lessons, this is actually equal to 1. So trigonometry, that's equal to 1. That's Pythagorean identity. Fundamental identity sa trigonometry. Okay? Too easy. So with that, I think we can answer all the other problems here. So eto, madali na to. Madali na to. So, after watching this video, send to me your answers for problem number 1, or this number 1, number 2, number 5, number, saan pa yung wala? Number 7, number 8, number 9, and number 10. So, the numbers na hindi natin sinolve dito, you send me your answers. Tingnan natin. Yung unang makasolve, may prize. So that's it for this lesson, and see you again next time.